When the cedi weakens against the dollar or fuel prices spike at the pumps, prices of goods and services shoot up, and the everyday Ghanaian consumer feels the weight immediately. But what happens when the economy stabilizes? Those input costs drop, and yet retail prices refuse to come back down. Today, we are putting that exact scenario on trial. A dispute between the financially crushed consumer and the desperate vendor. This diagram illustrates the foundational rule of a healthy market. When the cost to produce goods rises, retail prices rise. And when costs fall, the price at the market should fall in perfect synchronization. But watch what actually happens in reality. Economic trouble hits. The ripple effect is almost instant. Costs go up, so prices must follow. The consumer is forced to pay the higher price immediately without a choice. Eventually, the storm passes, the cedi stabilizes, global oil prices drop, and the cost of doing businesses actually goes down. We expect our prices to follow, but no, prices stay the same. The consumer is left feeling cheated and exhausted. It feels like a one-way street where economic relief never actually reaches their pocket. But just as we are waiting for prices to finally drop, a minor hiccup hits the economy. A slight bump at the fuel pump or a brief dollar shortage, which causes costs to go up again. At the slightest hint of new trouble, the vendor rushes to increase prices. They refuse to come down when things were cool, but they are the first to fly when things get harsh. This is the pattern that Ghanaians deal with. In January 2025, the price of petrol stood at 15 cedis per litre. By May, it had fallen to 13 Ghana cedis, a solid 13.3% decrease. In result, a 15% fare cut was proposed, but commercial drivers and transport unions vigorously resisted it. Operators like VIP did not decrease fares at all. However, fast forward to April 2026. Geopolitical conflicts have caused fuel prices to spike. The reaction? GPRTU drivers immediately rushed to issue a 48-hour ultimatum demanding a 20% fare increase, and VIP operators went ahead with a 25% hike in prices. We see the exact same pattern in the agricultural supply chain when tracking the wholesale prices of yams moving from Techiman to markets in Accra. According to market integration studies, when farm gate prices increase, retail markets adjust their prices upward at lightning speed. Wholesale price spikes are transmitted to the consumer in less than a month. But what happens when farm gate costs drop? The relief drifts down slowly like a feather. It takes over 10 months for consumers to see the price relief on that exact same produce. This glaring contradiction, less than 1 month to hike the price, but over 10 months to lower it, is called the rockets and feathers effect. This describes a market condition where retail prices shoot up rapidly like rockets in response to input cost increases, but float down slowly like feathers or get stuck entirely when those same costs subside. We all know the consumer feels cheated. But is the vendor just greedy? Or is there a hidden economic survival math at play? Let's look at both sides of the story. First, the consumer takes the stand. Their testimony paints a picture of an entirely one-sided economy. In their view, when the cost of doing business drops, the consumer sees zero benefit. Prices stay completely frozen, meaning the vendor's profit margins silently grow while the buyer continues to struggle. Because of this, the consumer argues that the vendor who hoards profits during stable periods has the duty to absorb the next cost hike instead of leaving the consumer to bear the full weight of market volatility. To the consumer, the market operates on a deeply unfair double standard, where the vendor treats the bad times as a reason to raise prices and the good times merely as an opportunity to keep extra profit. It is a heavy and quite justified accusation. But before we pass judgment, the vendor will also take the stand. The vendors have a different perspective, arguing that what looks like greed is actually a desperate, calculated strategy to avoid business collapse. Take the commercial transport sector. Truck drivers argue that even when fuel prices drop, the costs of imported spare parts, licensing fees, and insurance premiums remain stubbornly stuck at their peak. For other ventures, shop rents are often paid up to 2 years in advance, while electricity and water tariffs keep going up. Vendors argue that these rigid fixed costs keep prices high, even when the cedi is behaving. For electronics dealers and market women, the cost is tied to inventory behavior. If they bought stock at a high dollar rate, selling lower now would mean losing the capital needed to restock later. The fear of the future creates the ultimate price barrier, which is the replacement cost logic. Many vendors do not price goods based on what they paid for them. They price them based on what they fear the next batch will cost tomorrow. In an economy that experienced a massive macroeconomic crisis and 54.1% inflation in 2022, they refuse to lower prices when things get better because they are hoarding that profit to survive the next economic shock. It seems to the Ghanaian vendor that keeping prices artificially high is a rational survival mechanism against a historically unstable economy. We have now heard from both sides of the aisle, with the financially crushed consumer on one side demanding fair relief and an end to the double standard, and the defensive vendor on the other fighting to protect their business from an unforgiving economy. Both sides make a compelling case. But at what point does necessary risk management cross the line and become outright exploitation? We will leave that for you to decide. Let us know how you rule in the comment section below. This has been a Finex Insights Data story. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. See you in our next one.